Hello everyone, this is Kat Carson of Wool Gathering Zine. Welcome back to my channel. It is raining outside and it's a bit windy, so if you hear the rain sound in the background, I guess it's just an added sound to my video. A while ago there are people mowing the lawn and they stopped doing that because it's raining outside. And it's daylight, but I'm using my artificial light because it's been kind of gloomy the past 3 days and very windy as well. So if you hear wind, rain, people mowing, Egon is also here with me. I guess it's just background noise. I just really want to film my flip through video of my March junk journal. So this is my finished March junk journal. I know I wasn't on for a while. I apologize for that. I just needed to. I've been journaling, but I decided not to film for a while. Well, I just couldn't get myself to film for a while. It's just been kind of with everything that's kind of going on. I just needed some time to kind of on sleep mode. But anyway, let's just get started. So this is my March junk journal. I made this. I have a video when I made this. This is 6 by 9. Yes, it's a 6 by 9 junk journal, and my spine is about a little over 1.5 inches with 2 signatures on. This is my bookmark on the side of my junk journal, which is something I do all the time. Not all the time, but most of the time. The theme of this junk journal is book theme. I was very much inspired by the book club scrapbook paper, the 12 by 12 pad from Michaels, which went on sale for $5. When I thought I really wanted it. I like how it turned out, but it's a bit limiting on what I can do with it. Although I did say I wasn't gonna have book theme on each page, but at the same time I really want to use up that scrapbook paper. I didn't want it to go to waste, although I only did pay $5 for it, which is pretty good deal. But everything's going up so high. I thought $5 for a 12 by 12 pad is pretty good deal. So anyway, on the cover, this is a vintage image of a this is from a Dick and Jane book, and I like this one because she has books right on here, and so it kind of just set the tone for some sort of book club. I did frame her using this vintage seam binding. There's so much gap on the bottom with even like the caption, the words on the bottom, and so I decided to cover it with some of these applique, floral appliques, and kind of just made some sort of semi border on the bottom of it. On this side, this is the bookmark that I always do. This was a metal piece. It was from I've been on the hunt for those frames or images that has like jeweled on them, like brooches that are shaped like a Christmas tree. This is kind of one of them, but it was really the one I saw it in the estate sale. It was really not in a good condition. Like a lot of the pieces are already gone, so I did pick out some of them, like this one and then another one, and yeah, because you can't even tell the shape, you just see the glue part of it. So I did pick out some of the images that charms that I like, and so yeah, this was already flat back when I got it. I assumed this was some sort of charm, maybe an earring at one point, but the post was cut off. I'm quite not sure about that, but yeah, this was already flat back when I got it. I used more of that seam binding in the front to kind of be more cohesive. Oh, the book club, it's upside down. The book club right here is a cut apart from that Michael's pad I was talking about. This one is a flat back gem that I also got from the same state sale. There's a a bag of them, a small bag of them that I purchased, which I'm glad I'm kind of using. And it's also vintage, that's why I really like it. My closure is a seam binding. The only thing I didn't like about this, I do love the color of it. I feel like it kind of ties in everything, well, literally. And yeah, but like you see this right here, it's peeling. I'm not sure it's a vintage, and I'm not a seamstress or a professional, but so this seam, I know this is called a seam binding, but it has that sticky thing, so I would imagine it like, is it an iron on maybe, that you iron onto your clothing, and then so it'd be easier for you to sew on this seam binding. But yeah, it's peeling every time I use it, so it's the only thing I didn't like about it. But on the parts that it's already peeled, it looks really nice. If you see right here, yeah, I thought it looks really nice. But oh well, I guess it will eventually peel off. The more, well, I'm done using it. I did add some book corners, metal book corners on this. I attached this closure with an eyelet. My initial plan was to glue a seam binding inside. Right before I glue this part down, I was gonna glue the seam binding first, but I forgot to do that. So that's why the eyelet closure was kind of like a last minute thing. So this is my very first page. Someone pointed out that my H is upside down, and she is so right. And I didn't even realize it until she pointed it out, because all my shadows are going this way, and then this one is definitely upside down. This one is a one of those embellishment. This is from the library off. And I just put my name on here, which I thought was pretty kind of fitting. This one is a vintage quilting squares. I don't know what you call octagon. That's more than an 8 side. I don't know what you call this pattern. I think obviously there's a lot of names for each pattern. I don't know the name of this one, but I found this on an estate sale. Not from the same lady with the beads. Yeah, this lady that I got this from, she has a lot of fabric. I got a whole bag of $10 fabric. I think it was 6. And it was a lot of fabric for bag, which I'm pretty happy about. Anyways, so this one I embroidered the wrote ya told you now I read ya, you've been read. It's a song of RuPaul. I don't know if you follow RuPaul's Drag Race. It's a reality TV show for Drag Race. It's a contest basically, and this is one of the finale song of the top 4. I think it's All Stars 2, if I'm not mistaken, or 3. No, 2. It's All Stars 2, I think, or 4. I can't remember. I'm sorry. It's been a long time. But yeah, so I embroidered that on here. And on the back side of it is I usually do an intro for my every junk journal that I make. And this would be mine. So yeah, I did some sort of intro on the back of it, of this tag. And here's my collaging in the front of the tag. Here's another small journaling spot in here with the cut apart again from the Michaels. This one from Michael's scrapbook paper. This one is, I typed this and just kind of glue it on here. I type it from my computer, and I don't have a typewriter. It's from my computer, and then I just printed it out. So for the first page, I forgot to mention this. This is the charm that kind of holds the book. I kind of mimics this the big junk journal, which I'm kind of pretty proud of. Anyway, so this one are the movies or TV shows that I watch throughout this whole month of March. I think I need to add a couple more on here. In like the TV shows that I watch. This one is kind of like this page is kind of not broken. It was kind of ripped a little bit. So off cam, I did some collaging on it and patch it up. That's why it looks like a patch fabric, which I thought was pretty cool. And I do like that it's the table of contents, because it's kind of like in the beginning of my junk journal. This one, I kind of left it blank. Okay, so this one is some sort of belly band that I made, which I wasn't able to film. These are basically cut aparts from that Michael's book club paper pad, and I just decided to kind of stack them. So I can use up a lot of them in just one page. A lot of these are cut apart on, like I said, on this one alone. This is 3 bookmarks, because there's a page where they're just all bookmarks. This alone is 3 bookmarks. This one, this says books and tea. The one on the background is a bookmark that I cut apart. And this one also is a bookmark. These are some cut aparts or part of a bookmark. These two are bookmarks. So, and then I just added some Tim Holtz floral pieces, or floral embellishment, or rose embellishments, just so it kind of breaks up all the kind of books and just a bookmark. I added kind of some organic shapes on there, just to kind of break up all the straight edges. I kind of wanted something more organic, so I added some rose embellishments. Again, these are all cut aparts from that scrapbook pad, and I made just a simple journaling card that just goes right behind here. This one I just added this for embellishment. I did add a brad right here so I can swivel, put this on top of this. Even though it's covering it, you can just kind of lift it up and see what's on the back of it. I did journal on the back of this bookmark. Right here are more cut aparts. Here is like I made it look like a book, but it's just a plain junk journaling or journal card. It's a scrap that I used. Here is an envelope and more journaling cards, more cluster right here. Okay, this one I embroidered this right on here. I'm gonna tell you what. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you what gunita means. It is a Tagalog word, a Filipino word. Let's see, I did write it down. Sorry, just gonna. Okay. So, gunita means a poetic Tagalog word that means memory or remembrance. It's more than just a recollection. Gunita carries a sense of nostalgia and fondness for past experiences. This term is often used when referring to cherished memories or when reminiscing about significant moments in one's life. That's why I thought this Filipino word is quite perfect. I was gonna use this as my word for my bookmark, but I thought the look kind of took over right here. The look kind of took over, I guess, the aesthetic that I was going for. So that's why I kind of scrapped that idea. But I do, since I already made it, I do wanna, yeah, because I do want to make this like a book, even though it's a bookmark. Um, but I already made this, so that's why I didn't want to go to waste. And since all the colors that I've used on here are kind of like that lime green, like on here you see it right here. It's the thread I used to sew on some of my tabs, and I have a few lime green here. So I decided to just kind of use it anyway. And yeah, and I thought this word does kind of resonate with all of my junk journaling. Yeah, anyway, for the next page, I didn't do anything on here. I wish I had, but I just kind of skip on the next one. This entry is about the books around our house. I do have a separate video on this one, but this is our current office. It still looks like this. We haven't done anything. We kind of got busy, and yeah, we haven't done much about our office yet, but we will eventually. And we have a lot of books that I don't want to get rid of, but at the same time, I do want it to be more organized because my husband and I are sharing the same office, and I want us to really enjoy the space without kind of like over cluttering it. I already have too many books and too many supplies, and I'm kind of taking over the whole office. But that's why we're trying to, it's like there's a lot of empty spaces that we could use for more storage, and kind of consolidate some of my junk journaling supplies. I decided to put a lot of my scrapbookings or my junk journaling supplies in boxes, in small IKEA photo boxes when we moved, but I haven't had a chance to kind of put them in a correct spot where I can easily access them without like having to pull a box or a couple boxes on top of it so I can access the one on the bottom, because I need the, let's say, the glue on there. Like right here, I have more on the bottom of it, but like let's say my glues are on here. I still need to remove whatever's on top of here and this on top so I can access the glue that I need from this box, let's say, and then to return everything I have to do the exact same thing. And I'm kind of tired of doing that, and I need to utilize our office better, just so it's not so cluttered and messy, and that's the goal of this one. But anyway, this is our current situation right now. This one is kind of in a small hallway, hallway, and we just have a display of like anatomy stuff and some vintage cameras on the bottom of this kind of curio. I also have vintage anatomy books right here. I have more books under our TV stand. These I kind of color coded them, so they're kind of divided by color, not by kind or categories. Yeah. Let's see. Here is our coffee table. I have some Richard Gorey book and Mark Radin coffee table books on here. On the bottom of this, I have more books in this coffee table. I have a little bit of books right here, but more of a display. But yeah, so that is our book situation that we kind of need to organize. For the next one is K-pop. I love J-Hope. He is part of BTS and he released an album, and so I decided to just kind of journal about it. On this one, this one is from a Vintage Reader's Digest for Cuba. This is a tissue. I kind of like, I guess when you do read books, sometimes it does make you cry, so I thought it was kind of fitting. And on here, this is when it's about reading glasses, I suppose, because she's getting her eye check, which is also kind of fitting for this whole theme. So my sister lent me her book, Homicide in Halo Halo. She is a Filipino author. She kind of mixes crime and like our culture, our Filipino culture. I have read this book. This is the last book I read. I got this from her last year. I haven't been reading much lately. I used to read a lot of books. I got into sci-fi books, zombie books. Yeah, I got into all of that. But lately, I haven't been reading much book, to be quite honest. This is the book that I was currently reading when I said I haven't read a book, but then I realized I have been reading a book. I was kind of ashamed. Not ashamed. I just don't want to be judged of what kind of book I was reading. So I am reading this book, which I also bought from Portland last year. So yeah, I did get this. I got this from Portland, and then I got this from my sister who lives in Portland. So I actually finished it already, and I moved on to this one. It's hard to read it. I read the first few pages maybe twice already. I'm getting to it, or first chapter, and I read it twice already. And then from this author, these are more of her books that I do want to read. She has 6 more that I have not read. Anyway, moving on. This is another K-pop post or entry. They did release a song. It's called 96ers, and then the other song is called Stupid Idiot, which the first concept is kind of like museum types. It's kind of like black and white, and not black, yeah, black, white, gray, silver kind of tone. But the next one was super colorful, so does the colorful page. So I haven't been filming much, but I have been journaling a lot. It's my way to de-stress. So I've just been journaling a lot off cam, and you'll see it, a lot of them here. Okay, so I just recently made this page. These are my junk for the month of March. We did go to IKEA in the beginning of the month. This is a chips from the Philippines, which is one of my fave. Girl Scout cookies, some of the IKEA packaging, Bucky's pecans. I saved the packaging for that. This is from Toblerone. This is Terry's, which is like an orange flavored chocolate, which is pretty good. The way you open this, or yeah, you kind of like tap the orange, the ball orange, or the chocolate ball on the table or something, and then it will kind of split this apart. So when you open the packaging, they're kind of like broken apart like a chocolate, like an orange. So this is the bookmark that's kind of holding it. I noticed a big gap in the middle, but like if you do close it, you kind of barely see it. You barely notice the big gap in the middle. Well, yeah, it's right there, but you barely kind of notice it because it's very filled. But I like that it doesn't have an alligator mouth. I can still kind of manage the opening of this junk journal, and there's no big gap on the front right here. Like it's not in the middle of there's not like a big gap here, which I really like, and there's not like a big gap on the bottom as well, or on the back side of it. But there is a big gap in the middle, which I'm okay with because you barely notice it. So this is the second signature. More tabs on here that I sewed on. Again, you'll see a lot of my journaling, some of the cut aparts that I used, those books that I made with the hidden junk journaling. This is also a flip up that I journal on the back of it. This is my Philly entry. I have a tag in here. This is a card that I turned into a pocket. I did do a border of a gingham purple pattern, or a gingham in purple, but I only glued the edges of it minus the top, so I can slip a tag on top of it as well, so I have more journaling spot. This is a postcard from Philly, which so I can journal on the back of it. This is a brochure that my husband just got me from Philly. I do have a Project Life card right up here, another tag, and his receipt from that place. This is an image of the school with all the books, again from a vintage children's book. So yeah, this is a pocket. Ooh, that's a thunder. It's okay, Martha. This is a packaging of a pretzel that I got, and I really utilized the gingham tag, or like garland thing that I got. Yeah, I used all three colors of them that I have, which I thought was pretty cool, kind of, so everything is kind of cohesive. On the back of that, I didn't do anything except I added this, since I already have this since I already have that paper clip on here. I decided to add this hidden journaling card that I made, that in like shaped like a book. This is another belly band that I made since I wasn't able to film. I didn't hit record on the other one that I made, so I kind of redo it, but going the opposite way. Is going vertical this time. And these are just images of books, stacked books, and cups and teapots. And I just have journaling card with a little tuck right here, and another journaling card so I can journal on the back of it. And it just goes right in here. This one's, I just kind of left it blank. Lots of journaling, to be quite honest. Lots of journaling. Just been stressed lately, and this is how I de-stress. More journaling on the back of this card that I did tie on here on one of the little hole right up there from this graphic paper. I have a separate video for this page that I made. There's a tag here for journaling spot, and just lots of clustering on this one. This is a video about clustering, and I feel like I achieved that. I clustered them using lots of my embellishments that I should be using by now. Like a lot of these I've had since 2016, 2017, and I've had them for a while, and so it's time that I kind of use them all up. Some of these are scraps, which I'm glad I'm using. Really lots of clustering on this. This is a this is American Crafts, I believe, but this is a library card, which I journal on the back of it, or I journal on the library card. More journaling right here, more clusters right there. So this one I just added this as an embellishment. This is the envelope. I covered the envelope, the one that I attach on here. So I just covered it with scrap fabric, which I glued. I did all of this off cam, and when I was doing this, it was kind of getting dark, and I didn't notice that it was upside down, but that is okay. It's just you can barely see it. This one, I have a thing I made on the back of it, so I can journal on that one. There's a journaling card from my scraps. More cut aparts and more clustering. It's okay, Mama. It's okay, Martha. Okay, so our biggest dog is scared of thunder, so she's kind of she just went under my desk. It's okay. This one I'm just trying to use up some of my alpha stickers. I don't have A's anymore and don't have S. But I did use the negative part of it or the outline of it too, so I can spell bloss. Anyway, again, it was a lot of journaling off cam. This is when I made this, I did how I attached this envelope is I just kind of glue this in the middle of it. That's why this thing is attached on this page. It's just glue in the center, and then later on I made these journaling cards out of scraps, and I did some cluster or of embellishments right in the middle of it. But yeah, I have two pockets right here and then right here, and I made journaling cards. So yeah, I just did journal on the back of that, like I said. And I did this off cam, but really it's just a lot of journaling off cam. And lastly, this is the page where things I've learned from this junk journal. And these are it's a scrapbook page where on the bottom of it are just these books, and this is just one line that's going on the bottom of the 12 by 12 ones. I decided to just cut them apart and kind of make them look like a bookshelf, and I added some teacups and some fun embellishments on here. Let's see, maybe I should read what I learned from this junk journal. Number one, I tend to overthink things, my layout, everything. And then so number two is I overproduce things. Number three, I learned that I am messy. Okay, to be fair, I put some would do a trial run or prototypes, which is not a bad idea, but I don't do it. Number four, I did buy so much for this junk journal. On hindsight, I should have gone to Hobby Lobby and bought all that stuff because I know I'm never gonna use it. So, and it's a clearance item that I don't think I can return. Yeah, what else did I write? I'm just trying to see if I can read it out loud. Okay, I just said the fifth thing I learned is next time just let my junk journal grow organically. Like I said, I kind of overproduced. I feel like this one is organically because I did it off cam, but I guess what can I do? I have to produce something, so something I can film, I guess, at that moment. But I guess I shouldn't be too focused on my theme. I guess that's what I was trying to say. Number six, just stick to one color scheme. Look how I just contradicted myself. Number seven, plan ahead, which is, obviously I should plan it. Number eight, keep it simple. That's it. That's all I'm gonna read. All right, so I guess next time I will do that. I guess this one is kind of too busy for me. There is a lot of print on print on print on print on cluster on print and fabric print. So I guess it's kind of overwhelming at times. But anyway, this is the final page. This is the library card that I made. I did stamp it. It's super messy. That's why I have like a lot of ink on my thumb. So the start date is March 3rd. I finish on April 5th. I thought today was April 4th. Turns out it was already April 5th. So that is it. That is the end of my March junk journal. Sorry about the train noise, but yeah, that is the end of my March junk journal. On the back of it, it's just plain. I am getting ready to work on my April junk journal. It's probably be way skinnier than this one. I don't know, just to change it up a bit. But yeah, this is my March junk journal. I thank you all for watching. For now, it's bye.